Yo, what's poppin'? Wolf here, and welcome to the lore of Austin Nobles. I lived in the suburbs for most of my life, suburbs of Chicago. I'm not gonna say which one, because it really doesn't matter. They're all kind of the same, cookie cutter shit, Edward Scissorhands. I watched a lot of movies growing up. I really loved the 90s cool ones, stuff like Blade, obviously favorite, The Matrix, Spawn, stuff like that, like just 90s cool, futuristic, anything like that. That was my shit growing up, bro. I did the video games on top of that, Jack, Precursor Legacy, you got Ratchet and Clank, bro, you got like Metal Gear Solid, Snake, like it's just so many games. And the era of the early 2000s is honestly, in my mind, biasly undefeated. So yeah, I grew up and then I go to a pretty white school throughout everything. I'm usually the only black kid. Like in my classes, I'm like usually the only, which was interesting because I found myself having to code switch at a very young age in order to like socially survive. So I do that throughout school, and then I start getting crushes on like girls. I just kind of fall into identity loops and issues like that. And my only real outlet was music once I was a teenager. So I started producing in 2010. And I started with FL Studio. My dad gave me one of his old laptops, and I was like, "Dad, be gone." So I cracked that bitch, and I was getting to it right away under the name Nobility from like 2010 to like 2016. And in 2016, I switched it up, by Austin Nobles, my actual real name. So I do that. I'm in college, and I'm finally in Chicago, and now like the whole world started to open up to me because remind you, I didn't get out too much. I was just like a nerd for the most part, blurred, whatever. So I started going to Chicago, started going to functions. I started understanding like it get real out here real quick. It get lit out here real quick. So I was like, all right, let's make some music for these functions and shit. So I swapped up my whole kind of style for a little bit. I started making more like trap, alternative trap shit, stuff like that. And then I really started taking my rap career seriously as Austin Nobles. And once I graduated, I had a couple of resources and buddies that allowed me to throw some events and shows. I started, booking people for shows and whatnot, making friends. I guess at the same time, making friends, frenemies, enemies, because it's all the same out here, unfortunately. And yeah, I got to a decent point to where I was happy of how much work I had put in and whatnot. So during that time, I fell head over heels for this woman, and we became an intimate relationship. We started making music together and doing everything under the sun together, and it was a really fun time because I was making music, I still had friends, and I was living with her. It was like a little fairy tale. It was really cool. So fast forward to COVID and shit's hitting the fan, and I'm not eating, super anxious because there's just a lot of racial tensions and we were interracial robbers. So I wasn't the most confident at that time on how to feel towards really anything. And yeah, man, she held me down for that era or that time period. I was going through a lot of identity stuff, anxiety stuff, figuring out shadow parts of myself that I really wasn't comfortable with at the time. Kind of took a year off of the music, get my mental health more together and whatnot. And then in 2022, I slightly rebranded, doing more trip hop stuff, kind of punk-esque stuff, which I've always done, but like in a certain lane in it. And that was cool. That got me into a little bit more vlog, like editorial stuff. But 2023, the fallout. So I was dating from like 2019 to 2023, so like most of my 20s, we could say, was with her. And in 2023, we were both falling out of love, I could say. Give benefit of the doubt. Charges to the game. I crashed the fuck out, bro. Like, I had no housing. She just took over the crib, and I was trying to find housing with some of my homies. We couldn't get an apartment. I was just like, what is going on? And all I really had was like a little job at the time, and my whole foundation was rocked. So one night I was biking and she was like, hey, come back, whatever, I'm about to lock up. During the process of going there, I was in a hit and run accident and broke my collarbone in 3 spots. So now I wake up on the side of the road and I'm like, damn, and it's like 3 people looking down at me like it's like Smokey Friday where he's like, damn, you got knocked the fuck out, man. So there's that. And I go to the ER, they're like, yeah, it's broken, you probably will need surgery, here's a sling, get up out of here. You know how our healthcare system works, whatever. Then we have like our last conversation for real. I pack my shit and tell my mom to come scoop me, and then I'm back at the suburbs. So from October till now, honestly, I've been in the suburbs the entire time, and looking back on it, I've done so much healing and shadow work and found myself and started learning how to love myself. that I had to rebrand. With WOOF, I can do whatever now, and I can actually express how I feel and who I am. And I'm thankful for the whole thing because it really just showed me that it's possible to choose you. And the lore of Austin Nobles isn't done, but that's just where we're starting. I probably go into more details on certain stories at a later time. But for now, you get a consensus of like who I am. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, check out the website, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace.